Today we are back with another tutorial for Stencil Girl as part of the creative team. Now this month the theme is gratitude, and we decided to create either ATC cards or ATC coins, keeping in mind with the theme. So we'll decide as we go along, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be laying down all our layers on a single sheet of paper and then begin cutting it out. So it's just going to be work in progress. So we have this cardstock ivory sheet paper over here, and we're just going to begin with some layers. As again, it's going to be mixed media, so we're going to be using different mediums and adding a few layers. So to begin with, the first layer is going to be an old book page. So just going to randomly tear it and use some Modpodge to stick it down to the paper. So with that done, our first layer is complete. Now for further texture, let's add some washi tape. So before that, the color palette that we are using today is going to be more of greens, a little brown, and a sort of burgundy magenta for our contrast. So we've picked out washi tape according to that color scheme. So a little bit of the deeper purple tones, a little bit of green, and then a little bit of white, just for some texture and dimension. For our next layer, we're going to begin using some stencils and gel press. So we're planning on using this oval gel press plate with a few stencils. Before we use the gel press with the stencil, we need to coat and prime our page with gesso. So just using some Art Basics heavy white gesso, lightly brush the page. So the gesso layer is now dry, and we can begin using our small jelly plate. So using the oval shape, just going to mount it on an acrylic block and going in first with this light green. Maybe a little dark green as well. And keeping a stencil and running the brayer on it for the pattern, and then just stamping on the page with it. So just going to repeat the same process randomly. With that done, now let's add some more dimension using white texture paste, white Crackle texture paste. So using the same stencil that we used before with the gel press plate and adding the crackle paste. Next, for more texture and dimension, let's use another stencil with some modeling paste and embossing powder. So again, this stencil, I'm just going to be using these smaller circles over here randomly. And on the circles, let's sprinkle some embossing powder. So here using 3 colors, Lindy's Tannenbaum green gold, Bratwurst brown and Razzleberry plum. With that done, we have this amazing texture and color and design on our page. Ensure that everything is dry before moving on to the next step. So the next step is to add some more color now onto our page, and for that we'll be using some Lindy sprays. So we have a few colors here. So we're using Lucky Shamrock green, Luscious lime, Hottie Patootie hot pink, Incandescent copper, and some Bayou Boogie gold. So these are the shades, and we're going to be using this with a paintbrush and creating a watercolor effect. With that done, we have our base complete. Now let's cut these down to card size. So we decided we'll just make smaller cards. So that would be about 3 by 4 inches. So these 4 can be our bases, and we'll be using these, so we'll just trim them down to some smaller strips and use them for our layering over here. we can give dimension to these layers, and we'll just stick all of it down with tacky glue. So with that adhered, that's a look at the cards with all the depth and dimension. Now we'll distress the edges using Distress Ink Rusty Hinge and picked Razzleberry. But before that, let's just show you some embellishments that we've gotten ready for our cards. So just like we did on the background, we used the spare piece of paper where we were wiping off our brayer with the paint while using the gel press. So it has the same paint colors that we used on the cards, and we used the same circle stencil, applied some modeling paste through the stencil, sprinkled the embossing powder and heat set it. Once dry, you just cut out around the circle to create some embellishments for our cards. So we've cut out 3 different sizes of the circle. So it's the same technique we used here on our background, but just that we did it separately and fussy cut it. So these will look really good as our focal elements. Apart from that, from the same paper, we also die cut some of these leaves and just painted them with Art Alchemy acrylic paint Sparks for that golden shine there. So we'll be using these to complete the cards. So let's first distress the edges. So that's a look at the cards once they've been distressed. Now with that done, time to add some splatter. So using the same colors, the sprays that we used, let's just add a little bit splatter before we really begin our layering. Drying, what we've done is we've used some phrases from the Tim Holtz Small Talk sticker and just stuck them onto black cardstock and cut them out for our cards. So that's what will complete the cards. We'll also be using some black thread for our layering. Some cute little gratitude cards, and what you could also do is make more, just punch them together, add rings and make like a table holder, a flip through for every day. You can punch a hole and tag them together like a mini positive gratitude booklet that you can carry with you, just something to keep you motivated and positive every day. So like you saw, these were really quick and easy to make, nothing really difficult over the top, and with stencils itself you could really make some focal embellishments for yourself. So these techniques can be used in any project, and we really hope that we've inspired you today with this creation. Do follow us and subscribe to our channel. Watch out for other fabulous inspirations on the StencilGirl blog this month by other creative team members. And until our next time, take care and bye bye.